What's going on, everyone? Thanks for stopping in. So, kind of got some bad news. The guy that ported my intake manifold ruined me. He does such a good job. Everything I have needs to be ported now. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for stopping in. So, nothing wrong at all with how he ports. Actually, he does a fantastic job, and that's kind of a joke I was trying to play. Anyway, he finally got. Well, they finally came in, which you guys probably saw on my Instagram if you follow along. If you don't, check out my Instagram. It's Endless Wishlist 6.0. Anyway, check out the gasket matching of this. It's damn near perfect. I don't know if you can see in there. Probably not. Let's go outside. There we go. Sort of. Trust me. It's perfect. So what I guess I'm trying to say is don't let anybody port your stuff, because I mean, anybody can port, let's be honest. It's just removing material, but getting it perfect and having the touch for it, that is what separates the good people from the great people. And Chewy is great at what he does. He's done plenty of these. He will port all my stuff from here on out. He's already poured some of my stuff before. He's the one that talked me into doing this intake swap, and of course I had to get it ported before I put it on. And I'm waiting for some parts to come in, so next week will probably be the official intake swap video. I'm going to put this intake on right now just because it's just killing me having it sitting here, and that really isn't any different than the normal intake sitting on the engine. So we're going to set it on there, and then probably the next video, one after that, will actually swap over the fuel system, make it to where this thing can run. And we got the Honda charging up the Silverado because it hasn't been running in a while. But we'll let it sit, not let it run right now, because you won't be able to hear me. Anyway, so let's get this thing on. But they had a little bit of a issue getting it set on there because these heads are milled. So when they're milled, you know, there's less clearance because it's closer to the block. So, but we got on there, so they're nice and flush now. We'll bolt it down. All right, so after fighting this for a while, finally got it down, and you know, all these torqued. Because my head, like I was saying before, like my heads are milled, so it's a little bit tight of a fit, but it fits. Alright, so we're going to leave this the way it is right now. Like I said, we're going to save the rest for the swap video. It goes over all the parts and everything, how we're going to make the brackets work and all that jazz. So I think next, now that I got the shorter push rods, I'm going to put those in and see if the preload is good on those. And if that is the case, then we can button up the rockers and this thing will be almost ready to go, other than the fuel and tune, of course. Okay, I'm really liking the preload. So there's no up and down play, a little bit of preload, I guess. So we'll run these. If they're noisy, we'll get a little bit longer ones, but I think they'll be okay, especially since once it's running, the lifters are going to be, you know, pumped full of oil instead of them just sitting here. So we can go ahead and throw these things on, torque them down. Then that is pretty much it. I mean, we can put the coils and everything back on. And I'll hook that stuff up because that stuff is, you know, just like it came factory. There's a couple things, like this is in a different spot than the other intake, and I'll wait for the next video to mess with that, so that way everything that has to do with changing over to this manifold will be in that video. But for now, rockers. As I was sitting here cleaning up the bolts, it dawned on me that I almost forgot that you need thread sealer when you're putting on ported heads, because in the porting process, let's see. Anyway, that rocker stud hole is no longer a blind hole, and a blind hole does not go all the way through. So now that it's ported, 4 of them do go through. So if you don't put thread seal on, you're going to leak oil in through that intake runner. You're going to be burning oil like crazy. I had a coworker that did it, and he was going through like a quart in 2 weeks. So put the thread sealer on the let's see, intake rocker. I'm gonna go ahead and do all of them just in case the exhaust one is done too. But anyway, get a good thread sealer. Got my ratchet. Sorry guys, I'm over here getting carried away. So got the valve cover back on. All the rockers are torqued down. This is torqued down. So now we can put the coil packs back on. Spark plugs, spark plug wires, and all that jazz. These are kind of tricky. There we go. Take these little guys. Need a 10mm deep socket, or a wrench, I guess, but it's easier with the 10mm deep socket. It's so much easier when the engine's out of the truck. So each one has 5 of them. Okay. And this is probably my favorite tool, electric ratchet. That's the way to go. I'm not too concerned about torquing these. I'll just get them snug. It's hard to put a price on a tool that makes your job a lot easier and a lot faster. Alright, now it's starting to look like an engine again. Obviously the injectors are not plugged in because I'm not going back to the stock 5.3 injectors. I'm upgrading them to the 6.0 flex fuel ones, which are like 50 pounds or something, or 60, I don't know. They are quite a bit bigger than stock. I was going to go with the 8.1 liter injectors, but Chewy has those on his, and his were maxed out. So I think I'm just going to save myself the trouble and get bigger ones. Just do it one time instead of max those out and then buy new ones. So that's what we're going to do. So we're waiting for fuel rails, injectors, and the evap stuff. I just have this plugged here right now, but the evap will be different with this manifold. But like I said, that'll be in the next video. Okay, now that I got everything put on, it's very apparent to me that this will not be 100% like factory bolt-on. Everything's pretty damn close, but there's some things that just don't quite fit. But I mean, this is from a 2007 and up, or 2010, somewhere around there. It fits, but just like the fuel system, things are going to have to be adapted or lengthened, such as the map sensor. And the other manifold is in the back. This one is in the front, so we have about 6 or 8 inches to make up for. I'll probably just take it out of the loom and bring the wire back out here somewhere instead of lengthening the wires. And like the bracket, I don't know if I'm gonna modify this one or maybe try and find that bracket. Well, actually no, I can't, because the newer throttle bodies are electric, so they don't even have a bracket. So this will have to be modified. Like I said 20 times now, that'll be in another video. Anyway, so we got the injector holes plugged up, breather holes plugged up. Now that this valve cover's on, there's one more little valve back there that needs to be plugged up, and then it is essentially sealed. So I got a glove over the throttle body because the intake elbow is a little too big for this one. Even though the bore on the inside is bigger, the outside is smaller on this one. So I bought an elbow reducer, a 4 to 3 3/4 inch. So now really all we got left to do is, check the oil, make sure it's full, so when we fire it up it's not dry, which it's still full, but a little came out with the heads and all. So I bought a quart just to top it off, just in case it's low. And I was burning a lot of oil because the seals or the guides on my last heads were shot. So we still got a little ways to go yet, but a lot closer than we were yesterday. Alright, it's been charging for a while. Let's shut this thing down. Get the engine rev back up. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the intake manifold is on. That is good. It's a big relief. I probably look like a hobo right now because I'm in desperate need of a haircut and I'm sweating out here all day because it's I don't know, it's not that hot. It's just I was in the direct sunlight. Anyway, so that is done. Like I said, more parts coming. You're gonna see. So between now and the next video, I'm gonna kind of mess with some of the parts. I'm not gonna put anything together yet. Let's kind of tinker with it and see how I'm gonna go about doing some things, so that by the time the video comes, it'll all be ready and easy for you guys. So as always, thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate it. Hope you liked the video. Like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. Again, it's Endless Wishlist 6.0. I got that truck almost running, and then I got the 5.3 swap going in a 98 pickup. If you haven't seen that, there's a couple videos a while back going over that. Last week I decided I'm gonna put all my time and energy into the 6.0, get it going, and then we'll work on the LS swap. So that is that. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time.